Welcome back to High School Musical, the series, season 2 after show. Howie's secret is out. Nini and Ricky are having problems, and Gina and EJ are just, fake girlfriend and boyfriend, and I'm here for it. But I could not do this alone. I am your host, Chae Jones. I have the wonderful, amazing Jeff Williams Jr. to this side. I always forget if it's right or left, so I'm going to that side, so it looks like I'm actually pointing towards you. To that side,
Yes.
how are you, sir?
I think I look this way. Maybe we'll see. We'll see in post. I'm doing well. Thank you again for the always great and welcoming intro. It's always an honor to be doing this with you as well. So it's always a fun time. Gonna be talking about high school, the musical series, and how Ricky is messing up again. But there's more to this story, and it's so funny to see. I'm so happy that we found out the twist about Courtney's love. So we'll get
Yeah.
into it. We'll get into it because it's kind of funny. I didn't tell you this before the show started, before we got on air, but I found out about that big twist I think 2 days ago through work, just through because like through some potential like interview stuff. I found out about the spoilers, and I was like, oh, I didn't know how long we were gonna have to wait until we found that out, but it was funny, and now to see it actually come to fruition, it's gonna be interesting to see what Courtney thinks.
I have so many thoughts. I think we should just get into the big reveal because otherwise we cannot get into anything else. So
Yes.
obviously the kids believe that North High has stolen their mask, so they decide to go there. And obviously not being that very good at stealth because Lily catches EJ and Gina, which we'll get to later. She decides to confront them and have a street style dance battle to see which school is better. And after this, Courtney decides, I'm just gonna text Howie because this is crazy. I'm super excited for date night, and gets the shock of her life because of a very specific ringtone. This is why there's a vibrate and a silent. I just want to say that. But it's revealed that Howie is playing Beast in North High's production of Beauty and the Beast. Now, granted, you just found out 2 days ago, Jeff, before me. But what were your first thoughts when you found that out?
I just thought it was juicy, to be honest. I've been waiting for some drama that was outside of the high school drama. You know what I mean? I wanted some drama that the whole team had to deal with, and for Courtney to confront this, I think it was kind of cool. I'm interested to see what his excuse is, because the whole time in the episode, he was the only one wearing a mask. Like, there was no reason for Beast to wear a mask, and it was just, and because I knew, so I was just smiling the whole time. I was like, I wonder if they're gonna get to it. And then when they left the scene, I was like, they're really not gonna reveal it in this episode. And then when they finally did at the end, I thought it was great. Her response perfect, as she should have. She should have been upset because he easily could have said stuff. It looks horrible on him. And then especially when they're suspecting so many different things about North High, and how are they finding out this information? How do they know that we're doing this on this date? Well, they have an inside man. And how many times has he had opportunities to tell her what he's doing? Numerous. He that there's no excuse.
Personally, in my mind, I'm actually like, even before they started dating, the talks, like, I'm going to East High. I'm like, what did he say? What school did he go to in which he, like, did not know? Or did she know that he went to North High but didn't know he was a part of drama? I have so many questions that I need
But
answers to because, like you said, like, he had, so, like, I would, Courtney's a better person than me because I'm going to react and then ask questions type of
it's funny.
person.
They played
So,
with us. They played with us even before that, because I remember when she said, "Do you ever feel like you know someone, but just like you just met them, but you really know them?" And we all found out she didn't really know him. So it was a little bit of like irony that she said, "Oh, I feel like I know everything about this guy," and in reality, you didn't know Jack.
well, I mean, okay. I'm not even gonna try to defend Howie because what he did was wrong. However, like knowing the fundamentals of a person is like different than just because you don't know like every single thing about them. Like there's like knowing the fundamental of who this person is as a person
Yeah.
that you like versus I know their birthday, I know they like their first pet's name.
But in the first couple of days, you do the small talk of what school do you go to,
I mean,
what
granted, like
sports do you like,
these kids
what.
now do some Instagram stalking. Where was that? Like,
Thank you. What like that?
like
Stop it.
there like there's a Google search. Apparently there's a thing where you Google search a person before you date them. Never have I done that, and I don't get it because I'm old fashioned in that way. I'm gonna get to know you this way, and then after maybe a day or two, then I'll stalk you, like
Oh
to
no.
figure out that like Google stalk you to figure out that. But like I don't Google stalk or anything beforehand, only because I want to get to know the person you are versus what everybody thinks you are.
Mm,
But like she still could have like there's
I'm
a
the
lot of,
opposite.
like how many Howies are in Salt Lake City is my question. Just like it wouldn't have took like let's what's your snap, like the dude was trying to get on Gina, what's your snap, what's your
Mhm.
none of this social media information was passed. I mean, granted, if it wasn't, I like that old school feeling couple wise because I think it's just more genuine, but that's more of a me thing. And this is in no way to ever defend what how he did because this was like just a strict you perp you just purposefully kept that to yourself
Yeah.
because you knew either one or two things would happen. She would not want anything to do with you. Just actually no, it's more of that. Or she just like wouldn't want
That's
to talk
it.
to you
That's it.
anymore.
Like there's no trust. Like, but like he has some explaining to do because they knew too much information when they were gonna get revealed. Like he knew too much information, or North High knew too much information for them not to be spying on them. It could easily be the blonde girl spying on them. Is she
Because
blonde?
she's been
Yes, she's blonde.
spying. She
But she's
been
been spying. But still, it's just it doesn't look good. He didn't say anything. He had ultimate time. They text during the time they're in rehearsals and stuff. There's no excuses. Like no,
none.
I'm not accepting anything. He lied intentionally, or kept it with he didn't tell her intentionally.
He omitted intentionally. And personally, omission is the same as a lie. And if anybody in the comments want to come for me for that, please do, because we can have that discussion and we'll just have it. Um, but like being for them being in high school, like when you first start dating a person, like all like the honeymoon phase, and it was just very adorable. Like the text they have when they were in rehearsals and her like getting it, she's like, this is like not me. Like who is this person? Kind of sort of that I'm just like, oh, but let me get okay. We're talking about costumes, right? EJ, here's your ab Gaston. She's just like, I have abs, but like no, but these are original by Courtney.
She was like, we all have abs, baby. I love that though. She said we all have abs, and I was like, yeah, we do. I was like, no, I was like, be quiet. Just go ahead and take your abs and shut up.
Take the abs, be Gaston, and just do you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
And all the costumes were like for Courtney for having like when you do something yourself, like there's just something amazing about that. I think for me because when I was in high school, we did a beta club, and we also competed nationally and statewide. So if you want state, you got to go to nationals, which we did 2 years in a row. So we made all our stuff because people funny about a high school, they give more to sports than they do drama or
Mm-hmm.
academic programs. So we had to create and make most of our stuff ourselves, and I think personally they came out great. They still you get the same feeling, and there's just more of a personal touch to it versus you just buying them Broadway
Yeah.
style or actually having 50 costume designers to your bell dress.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just interesting watching as this episode unfolded and like watching the interactions, the text between her and Howie. First of all, I'm sorry though, but that I'm with Carlos. You ain't got a silent. You ain't got to vibrate.
Oh, that is so annoying. Not only is
That
it like
text.
a thing, but like it's a loud, weird noise. Like it's a elephant. Like ain't nobody trying to hear that ever,
No,
ever.
like
Like
I was with Carlos in just in that moment of while we're here, I'm gonna need you to put your phone on silent. That's great that you and your new boo, the new relationship you're in, have this own little personal texting. Well, let's save it for when we're not in school or outside in the world, so you can annoy other people and not us.
100%.
That was my thinking. But hey, it came back. Karma is fun and interesting because and like you said, irony because I was first like I personally at first not paying attention to who was singing. I thought it was Asher Angel for a second. I'm like, oh, maybe this is the reveal for Asher, and that's how he plays a role in this. Howie threw me, but then like because it made sense a little bit more, I was just like, sir, you coming
They were
down with
teasing
the
it like,
mess.
how do they know all this information? What is going on? And then I thought it was that, but I guess it could easily be because she was spying on them.
She's been
It
signed
makes
nonstop. Like
she's been
somehow
spying
she got
nonstop. So
time to
like
go to
that's how they know
school.
information.
Legit. She has time to go to school, rehearsal, and still
But
spy.
like, why
Like
did no one like call her out? Like she was like saying all these things about North High being this, that, and the third. I'm like, chick, you went there because you're a sloppy seconds. Like, come on now. Don't even act like you're something special.
I
We
know.
rejected you.
I wish
Like,
somebody
come
would have
on, like
called her
someone,
out on that fact. I just
that's
would have
what I'm
been
saying.
like, "You're a
Like,
scared little girl who got
no one even
upset."
like gave it to her at all. Not even Gina. Gina had a chance to too. Like,
I'm gonna
I
need
was
Gina.
like,
Gina
Gina, what are you
1.0 could have made an introduction. Like, I'm sorry.
doing?
There's like sometimes when you like your growth, you have your growth, but then you should be allowed at least once or twice to come back to that person you were for a second, just to remind somebody that you're not to be tested. That
Mm-hmm.
was one of those moments because the fact that she was just like, we're a quasi pre-theater community and you're just made for TV. The disrespect, well, that
Like,
disrespect
you've
was
been there all of
quick.
what, a week and a half? Oh no. You
Like,
just got there and paid your way to the top.
let's be real.
Look,
Like, ma'am, the only reason you're North High is because you didn't get Bell. So before you sit here and try to say that North High is so much better, you went to another school to try to prove that you're on top, to be
she
the
didn't even
top
get
dog.
casted. She didn't even get casted. Not even Bell. She didn't even get casted. You were gonna be in the crowd watching like the rest of everybody else. So carry on.
There's just, oh my gosh, the entireness of it, and then the the audacity to knowingly what she was gonna do by, I mean, granted, I will say this: Ricky can be an easy target when he wants to be. Like, you literally, because you couldn't be honest with your girlfriend about how you felt about the song, and that's all you had to do. Nini just either would she would have accepted it and kept pushing on. But no, you had to pretend to be supportive and loving about it instead of just being honest that you felt that you thought there's more to the lyrics than there could be. Sir, and then you let this other female who you knew is the enemy get into your head. And in 5.2 seconds, you were next to your girlfriend saying, if you don't like it, maybe you could go. Excuse- I could have stayed in Denver. I don't know what you thought this was. Like, I'm sorry. The quickness of him, the switch that was flipped was so quick. And I'm just like, Ricky, what did you think about Lily get into Ricky's head, the comments that he made to Nini, and just overall
I've
after?
been waiting for this. I've been waiting for it. It's the drama that I was asking for from the beginning because she needed to put a wrench into that relationship, whatever you want to call it, because he's selfish. That's it. He's selfish. At every move, he's just worried about himself. It's the song. Oh, she's really talking about me the whole time. Why didn't she add me in the song? And then it's like, well, we don't really. The song doesn't really need to be in the musical. And then it's like, I'm gonna bring you in the musical so I can have you around me the whole time. So I'm never lonely. It's yes, he has some reasons to be selfish, but all his moves are selfish, and it's not looking good. At episode after episode, he's starting to regress, and it's not great. And if he doesn't start talking, he might lose Nina as well.
Yes. She's now owning her name because
Mm-hmm.
Nini was the name he gave her. Like, granted, her real name is Nina, and no, but nobody calls her that because this is the name she was giving, and something that everybody just calls her now. And granted, if you like your nickname and you'd rather use that the entire time, you go for it. but eventually you might want to use your real name to because that is a part of who you are at the same time. And
Yep.
then it was funny. I saw something today that I thought was very appropriate because there's like a cycle that Ricky's going through that even EJ had to go through, and I think that is very appropriate as just a quote. Lessons will be repeated until they are learned.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw that, it just hit me because I saw it right after I saw this episode, and I was just like, "Whoa!" You just hit me in the heart with that one because that is so true. You will keep repeating lessons until you learn from them. It's the same thing like if you mistake, you will keep repeating the same mistake. You can't prosper or grow from something until you learn from it. That's not how it works. So you're gonna be in the
Yep.
same cycle. So you can't break a cycle until you're ready to learn the lesson it was trying to teach you in the first place. And then obviously Nina has decided to create an Instagram account for her new music that she's going to release. That's just going to be for her. And I love the title. It was just like the new Nina. Like taking ownership of herself as a songwriter, as a singer. And I can be Nini at school, but when it comes to my music, I want to be known as Nina. That
Mm-hmm.
because that's who I am. I am that person when I do it. So I like that. But both of them need to have a serious conversation. The avoidance of each other, the just leaving the room just because you're upset. That's what I didn't appreciate. This is the one thing I was just like, Nini, you've been doing so much great work, but you really just gonna let your man come at you like this? That's where you lost me.
And then, but the thing is, like, instead of talking to her, he brought it up in front of everybody multiple times. Like, I guess, yeah, she probably right. We don't really need this. We probably don't really need this song. And then I forgot what he said the first time to piss her off, but like, it was in front of people. How about you just tell me? Or no, he was just saying that little sly comment about like, oh, I guess you don't really need somebody. You can just, if I'm just like a little burden to you, or you're just a box that you're just breaking out of or whatever. I'm like,
Yeah, something
don't
about
give me
like
the
being
little
like spinning the
sensitive crap.
glass. Yeah.
Don't give me that sensitive crap. Tell me what you need to say, or don't tell me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just it's a lot.
It was a lot for them this episode. I mean, granted, like Ricky was supportive ish, and then Big Red said a certain thing. It was just like, okay, I'm
He
not
said he's
really
trying to be supportive.
like he like try okay, I'm happy you try, but can you try and tell me the truth at the same time? Like nobody's asking you to put, and I think this is what their problem is. They both try to put their own feelings ahead of for the other person, which isn't a bad thing necessarily until you both try to be supportive, but you're feeling a certain type of way about the situation at hand.
Mm-hmm.
Trying is great, but can you try and be honest at the same time?
Exactly.
Nobody's saying don't try. Nobody's saying you don't have to. You're not entitled to how you feel about what was released, not being in a song, the way you just talked to me, because this one just has something to say to you. Like, okay, but we're not on the same page, and until you're on the same page with me, this friction is gonna be here for a while. And it's funny, I was just like, if I was needy, I'd have been like, man, I could have just stayed in Denver. I
Mm-hmm.
missed you, but sir, I could have stayed in Denver. Like,
That's wild.
like I and at that moment, if I was her, I would have just stayed in Denver. But that would have been petty for me to say. Like that'd have been super petty to even have said. But Ricky needs to get hit a couple more times. Like I just feel like
Yeah, 100%.
a 1-2 punch, and maybe something will knock loose real quick for him.
And maybe he'll start acting like EJ, a real listening, caring, grown individual.
And I know we keep saying selfish, and yes, he is like he's showing the selfishness more and more as we keep going through the episode.
Yeah.
And it's nobody saying you can't be selfish. There's sometimes when you should be selfish for your own health and cool,
Well,
but
yeah.
it's not cool to everything is about you. When Ricky, most of the time, it's not about you. Like your parents' divorce, it has nothing to do with you. You're in
Yep.
like, and it's more like him taking on that burden. But I think that's also within most divorced kids. Like they think it's their fault, and it's not your fault what your parents are going through. You're a byproduct of both of them, and I'm sorry you're going through that, but you are not to blame. You are not at fault. That needs to get like in your head real quick. And then two, your girlfriend should be allowed to be like independent of you. Like you
Mhm.
are Nini and Ricky, but you also Ricky Bowen and you're Nini Salazar Roberts. You're two different people, and you should be able to be two
Exactly.
individuals even if you're together. But that's just me. How you feeling?
No, I agree, 100%. You know where I'm at. He has a lot of work to do. He
A
has a lot
lot.
of work to do. Obviously, I really hope, like I said last week, that they go into the therapy route because I think that would be a cool route for them to go to for visual representation. And then also, since we're talking about it, um, this is a side thing because I feel like he needs to work on himself, and this would be a separate storyline. He had a GQ article talking about he would be open, he would be excited to check out Ricky's queerness. So that would be interesting. That would be a different storyline. He was like, um, he just thought that would be something cool, and talked about all the representation that Carlos and Seb have been doing, and or have been like, yeah. So I thought that was cool. But yeah, I think just going back to what I was originally saying, I think he needs to go the therapy route. I think once they're gonna have that hard conversation, that's what's gonna lead to that.
And I think having a third party who is so outside of his circle would also be good for him
Hmm.
to have that. But speaking of your boy EJ, let's talk about the fake girlfriend boyfriend real quick
Why is
because
that a thing? Why did I miss it? I can't remember why they're doing fake boyfriend and girlfriend.
because she was being a bad lookout, but a lookout nonetheless. They both actually were for that
Oh,
one.
okay, okay, yeah. I thought there was
And
something before that. Okay, I remember
yeah, and the
that.
guy showed up
Okay, yep.
to get her snap, be that person, and then here comes EJ rubbing on the shoulder, just like with the quickness and the suaveness, and you're just like, "Hey, babe, like I'm just gonna like I don't want to talk to him either anyway. I
Hmm.
like, sir, like I'm trying to get something out of your school. Like you don't need to do this." And I'm Diane, by the way. I first of all, each always girls have fake names. Most time when we don't talk to people, probably a secret I shouldn't be sharing. But yeah, we get fake
Yeah,
names.
yeah,
It
but the
happens.
fake name was the one that Ashlyn said she had earlier. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't original.
I mean, but it was original for Gina because it was the first thing that popped into her head. So as long as it's the first thing popped into your head, no matter if it's your girlfriends or not, you can steal it. They did it on Living
Yep.
Single. It works.
Mhm. I
Shaquan.
feel you.
Yeah, it works. So she's Diane talking. I'm super new, and EJ comes in talking about risotto.
Mhm.
I'm just the entire conversation, and the guy's just like retreating, just like that's my cue. I'm gonna be out, and you can definitely see EJ really wants to like try to go further with Gina, wants to like not to be fake at whatsoever, and
Mhm.
Gina's just not picking up on cues. But it's okay. They're just gonna be EJ and GP. Good morning, East High. What did you think of all that? The first East High morning show duo of Gina and EJ and the fake boyfriend situation that comes up, in
Yeah.
what she thought was in support of just their friendship, but also him wanting it to be more.
I love their interactions, for especially the morning news because I used to do the morning news back in high school. So I thought that was a great. I was gonna say callback that it connected with me because I used to do the morning news. But yeah, their whole interaction's amazing. And then when they did the fake boyfriend girlfriend thing, it was fun because like obviously why else would he want to come back if he didn't want to spend time with her? Like he's been giving her clues and she's too busy looking at Ricky and not looking at the man right in front of her. He's literally thinking about school, could be thinking about school, about a girl his age, about anything else. But he's worried about Gina, what she's doing, how she's actually feeling with the camera off and everything. And she doesn't even see it. She doesn't even see it yet. So I'm really hoping either she sees it or he just like comes out and like, dog, this is how I feel. Like, where are you at? Or give her like a big inkling, like well, I kind of wanted to. I don't know. I did see a teaser to the next episode.
I did too,
So
which we'll get into.
there's a conversation where I looks like he got into Duke. So maybe he doesn't want to go to Duke
Spoilers.
because that's too far.
Spoilers also, just in case you have not seen the sneak peek. But yes.
I mean, it's a sneak peek. It's not like we got confirmation on anything. But yeah.
I think it's pretty safe to say that he was waitlisted, but he got in, based on the sneak peek alone, but also him having a decision to make. Does he even
Mm-hmm.
want to go to Duke anymore? I mean, that's going to be a consideration he's going to have to make. So I'm super excited to talk about that like a little bit at the end, because I really want to jump into that sneak peek as well, because there are so many little Easter eggs that need to be talked about. But we need to get into Miss Jenn and Zachy. First of all, we found out a big revelation. The reason she left the show was because she found him making out with someone else. And this person, I'm gonna go with person because that's not the word I want to use.
Mm-hmm.
This person had the gall to say that if she was a professional, she would have gone on anyway. First of all, that's such a guy response. Let's start there. I'm sorry, that's such a guy response. And two, you lucky she didn't slap you and the chick you were making out with. I'm like, there were just so many things wrong with this conversation that led up to an amazing performance, though. I can't fault it. That performance was fun to watch. Kate Rinder's facial expressions are everything, and watching her perform and dance and get into the motion and flirt and just through dance and performance is my favorite thing to watch
Yeah.
in this episode. How did you feel the give and take back and forth that she and Zach had?
Once it got to that point where you find out that he how he feels and how he acted, like, oh, he cheated on her, and his response was, you should have still been up there, didn't apologize, didn't do any of that. I was like, all right, well, he's trash and you know it. You know what I'm saying? Like, at this point, don't even sing with him. Don't interact with him. Don't play those games with him. So I was annoyed that she was even prolonging it, and she looked like she was enjoying it and stuff. I'm like, you know, he's trash though. Like, at that point, he just confirmed it, and then, and well, that's just me. If you tell me something, I'm pissed off. I'm not gonna sing with you and just start flirting and stuff. Like, no, it's a wrap. But to see that he actually is still competitive, and even though he wants to still date her and still stole, he didn't even, it wasn't even the kids, it was him that stole the mask. You know who you're dealing with. You know the maturity level of the man that you're dealing with. Don't entertain that. So it's like, at this point, you know the fool that you're dealing with. So if you deal with him, you're becoming that fool.
Unless you're playing the fool. I think for her it was just
Yes,
like
but
for
we
a
know
second stepping back into high school for a second, just for like a moment and remembering that the good memories. Because sometimes even with all the bad, like you forget the good ones, and they're like there could have been good ones, even though he was and is just so many words that cannot be said on this after show right now, that you just have that moment of, oh, let me just relive it for a second, but then you get reminded so quick. You will get reminded so fast of the reason why it has been 17 years since you saw this person, because they will show you who you are. And like Maya Angelou says, if someone shows you who they are, believe them. And I thought was interesting though. Like, I don't know if you noticed. So when she found when she found Beast's mask, behind her there was a board, and on it said trust.
Mm.
And that was such a profound production set moment that I was like, I don't know if many people noticed that, but as she's holding it in her hand, she turns to him. It literally says trust behind her. Like that, there's nothing done in the show by accident. That was meant for a purpose. There is she wanted to trust him, even with all what she knows. She wanted to trust him, so easily broken. Courtney's trust in Howie, obliterated. Nini's trust in
Ricky.
Ricky, broken. Just it just hits at so many different levels. Just like
Ricky's
why
trust in
everything.
Nini broken. Not broken, but not there. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? It's not broken. It's not there because
it's
he
not even
thinks
like
that.
trust. It's his belief.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
he,
yeah, yeah.
it's
Believe, believe.
like Ricky, like for like before we minor sidetrack. Ricky belief system right now and what
Mm-hmm.
he thinks is like what he thinks about his relationship. That's that's where this
Yeah.
is like. I just want to say, sir, if you believed in your relationship a little bit more, you wouldn't be so insecure that you flip out on your like you let your enemy get into your head so quickly that you would just snap at your girlfriend who hasn't done anything to you at all. Like, because
And then he
again,
gave
Ricky,
her.
it's not
He,
about you.
and then he also gave her a look like, "Oh, we're all leaving, but let me get a last look like, well, I might come back. We might have to talk and go on a date again or something. It might be that blonde girl that Olivia was talking about in the song. I'm just saying.
It like for real that look back, Ricky's look back at Lily, and I'm just like, no, sir, you need to keep your eyes forward. First of all, and second of all, why are you entertaining Lily?
Easy money. She's
Like
just taking
it's like
candy
it's the
from
80-20.
baby.
It's seriously the 80-20 rule when it comes to Nini and Ricky. Ricky has 80%. Like in life, you're only going to get 80% of what you want in a relationship. But then here comes 20, and you think that 20 is the most amazing thing in the world because you had 80 the whole time. So then when you give up 80 and you with 20, you feel real foolish because you
Mm-hmm.
gave up on 80%. Like that 20% is you. Like if that's the case, that 20% of what's supposed to fill up that relationship is you that you should be handling. I'll handle
Mm-hmm.
like your partner will handle the 80. You handle the 20 and we make 100 together.
Yep.
Point blank and simple. That like there is no discussion. There is no you can't debate me on this because it's so true. So many men leave like so many good women chasing after a 20%er when you had an 80, thinking that 20 was gonna be better. But I'm sorry, your math is still wrong. In no
Like,
way ever.
have fun with your 20. I'm gonna be over here balling.
Pretty much and let's also not talk about the fact that like Rick Lily wasn't the only one trying to throw in a wrench in something. We had Mr. Suave Frenchie trying to come for Ashlyn, and though I'm not mad at him for coming at Ashlyn because she is a catch, and a lot of
Yeah.
people are recognizing this. He was a little savage in his little Frenchness, talking about I'm so sorry, my English is not good. Remember this. I don't want to come off rude, but he is. I don't know if he said imbecile or something along that line, and then was just like, but you should dump him and date me.
So, question: do you think he was sincere in his whole approach, or do you think he was doing it to put a wrench in their relationship?
I think it's both. I think because he technically fits in because he's at North High, but because he's also foreign, like he doesn't fit in, and he's always reminded of that. Also, I think partly it is like him trying to put a wrench between her and Big Red, but also maybe he does have he wants something with Ashlyn because that like him catching her and that intense stare, you can't fake a lot of that.
Yeah.
There's you can fake many things, but that ain't one. So, and personally, if I was Big Red, I would have walked up being like, "Thank you for getting my girl. I got this now. I will take her back."
Who is this? Not the Superman, but a Superman. I was loving that. Big Red was
Like a
big
DJ?
mad.
No, like I don't
He
think he's
was
a
big
DJ.
mad.
He was feeling a certain way. I mean, granted, I think for Ashley, it's because like she's like so used to being overlooked, and even though now she has a boyfriend, it's weird when like you're so used to being overlooked in your life, mostly by guys too. Then even when you do have a boyfriend and somebody else shows interest, you're kind of just like giddy. Like I'm still with my man and I'm faithful, and I will continue to be faithful.
Hmm.
But I get to smile about this. Like I get to be a little happy and in remembrance of like, oh, I am this person.
Hmm.
Like they come. I'm not doing anything. I'm being me. Like that's a feeling, and it's heady and it's deceptive, but it's a feeling. So I'm not mad at Ashlyn. However, she didn't really have to like. I think me and Ashley have a lot in common because like legit, if I like my guy got upset and just like it's called the super guard. And she's like, no, I think it's called grand. Like, oh, that probably was not the best thing to say because he is upset.
Mm-hmm.
But babe, we're okay, right? Like, I'm like a big believer, just like babe, it's good. We're like, I promise. Like, the accent don't do nothing for me. It's okay. It might do a little, but it don't do a lot, so we're good. I was looking for any accent, so like it's just fun watching the interplay of like his French accent, but his singing is on point. I have to give him props for like just like the like, dude, you got some pipes on you. I am noticing in the battle was awesome.
It was dope.
And it's interesting though, like even though they did really well for the dance off, they actually had dancers with them. So yeah, you guys lost on the count of they had dancers, your dancer were not there with you. Gina can only do so much.
Exactly, because they lost that dance battle 100%.
I'm sorry, you're not gonna win. You're like they won. The girl legit did a whole contortionship and had to do fly.
That's what I'm saying. Like they won. I don't even know what like they were arguing about. I'm like, yeah, she was right.
And in my mind, I'm just like, just because you say I'm gonna lose the Mankeys for not, like adding original, I'm doing my own research just to make sure I can't.
And then I have your boyfriend call you out in front of everybody, agree with the enemy. Maybe we shouldn't do it.
Right?
Maybe
like,
you should shut your up.
You could have kept that to yourself, Ricky. This was not the time to be petty and bitter about your life. This was the time, like you, like legit, when things are happening in your relationship, let it be within your relationship and not let everybody else know what your problem is. Like even if it's just, even if you are disagreeing and you want to disagree,
it's just selfish. That's it.
Just like I was really disappointed in him for that because I'm just like, there's a time and a place. If you want to come for somebody, do it when we left North High and we're on a field trip back to East High and we're like, oh, maybe she's right. Should somebody look this up? Maybe we shouldn't do it. But don't do it in front of everybody and the enemy just because you in your feelings.
Look.
Because you in your feelings, sir.
Look, he could have been stage single.
Like
Nina deserves better.
Like, I'm sorry, like it's like you didn't learn a lesson like that. You said you learned your lesson, right? You're so committed to your relationship. You knew what it was like to lose her, and now that you're back together, it seems like you ain't learned not a one thing from the separation.
No, because he learned that he wanted to be with her, and he learned to tell her what she needed to hear, but he didn't learn that he should communicate everything with her. He just learned that, I should say, yes, I love her because that's what she wants me to say. Yes, I can talk to her because I need to be a supportive boyfriend. He didn't, but he also wants to be there. And when she's doing the retracting, it's not like it doesn't compute for him. He's just making sure that he's there. But when she's doing the retracting, he's like, oh, okay. She needs to be here. Like, why is she not doing this? I'm doing it. Like, we're supposed to be doing this together. This is our Saturday. It's just different. He's just selfish.
No, especially speaking of the retraction. Let's get into the sneak peek because Nini's not returning calls. She is focusing on Nina and her music, and EJ got into Duke, but now it seems like he's conflicted. And I think without getting so much into that, because I know that's going to be a big thing, I think it's interesting in the fact that they're showing that because sometimes our parents' dream and that we think are our dreams, they're not always the same.
Mm-hmm.
What your parents wanted for your life doesn't always end up being what you want for your life. So I think that's also going to be a decision EJ will have to make, and how we will definitely have some explaining to do because they are all on a weak punishment for trespassing. First of all, also, how'd you even, like, in my mind, Mrs. Bizarre, I was just like, how do you know we were technically we didn't trespass because they let us stay. So it wasn't so much trespassing as it was a staying.
And who got in trouble? They left. Ain't nobody knew about it.
Did nobody break? Nothing was broken. Nothing was stolen. I mean, technically I retrieved stolen property. So why am I in trouble?
I'm worried about this EJ thing. We're gonna talk about it next week, but I'm worried about it.
Why are you worried?
Because he can't get mad. I mean, he can't, like, Duke has always been his plan, and then he's gonna change it because of a girl he likes. It's not because of a change of dream. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so I
It's not
think
like it's like
Gina.
a
Oh, that's gonna be a good debate because I actually have a different perspective on why I think he doesn't want Duke. And yes, Gina might be part of it, but I don't think that's all of it. But we're definitely gonna get into that next. Oh, actually, not next week because we are going to be on 4th of July weekend. We are going to be doing things. We're going on vacation, guys. So we will
mm-hmm.
try to be back that following
Oh
maybe
yeah, I'll be in Kansas
Tuesday
City.
because I come back Monday and I'm coming back at night. So I'm back.
Yep.
So maybe Tuesday or Wednesday or when we be back. So check our social media, check us out. So we'll let you guys know when we're coming back for episode 8 because most likely 2 is gonna be very interesting because a lot of people are most likely to do a lot of things and be a lot of things. So let's find out what they're gonna do and be. But Jeff, tell people where they can find you on all social media platforms. They don't already know.
Yeah, if you guys want to see what I'm doing and being, you can follow me at Jeff Will Jr. on all your social media platforms.
And you guys can follow me at Real Chae Jones on Twitter and Instagram. Actually, I'll take it back. All my social medias are at Real Chae Jones. And my website is chaejones.com. There is no exclamation point. It's just Chae Jones. And we'll see you guys very soon to talk about episode 8 because the drama is just getting